This is Mastering the Chromebook and the Google Drive video series created by Elizabeth Mangrum. Video 2, Sharing Folders and Documents. Before we begin, you need to be logged into your Google Drive. Teachers, if you need to pause the video in order to make sure everyone's in the Google Drive, go ahead and do that now. All right, now that everyone's in the Google Drive or looking onto someone else's computer that has the Google Drive working, what I'd like you to do is I need you to pay attention to the information up here. So go ahead and close your Chromebook unless you're watching this video on your Chromebook, and then don't close the Chromebook. If you're watching this on the projector in class, I want you to close your Chromebook so you can listen to these instructions. Let's go over some ground rules. I went over these in video 1. Number 1, only use the Chromebook assigned to you. Number 2, you are responsible for the Chromebook that is assigned to you. Number 3, do not panic if you run into a problem. Do not start flailing your arms in the air, calling out your teacher's name, like the person behind you just burst into flames or something. If you get stuck, do silent reading or the review activity. That will signal to your teacher that you have a problem. And it's a lot less anxiety-inducing than you screaming at your teacher that you have a problem. So if you get stuck, do silent reading or the review activity. Your teacher will help you as quickly as they can. Number 4, Chromebook and account or for school use only. You may not surf the web. This is not a time for you to play. There is no playing on your Chromebook during class time. Number 5, we are trusting you. Treat the Chromebook and account with respect. This is not a toy and it is not your property. If your teacher has additional ground rules, they can pause the video now to review those ground rules with you. What we're going to do now is we're going to set up your Google Drive so it's easy for you to find handouts from your teacher and to turn in items. So this is all about how to make folders for your classes. All your folders and documents need to be named the same way in the same format. First thing you put is the subject. The class period as 2 digits. 2 digits makes it stand out more. Your first and last name. None of you are famous enough at this point to go by one name. You are not Shaq. You are not Shakira, Beyonce, Kobe. Okay, once you're at that point, you can start just putting your first name. But until then, you put your first and last name on every assignment, including those you're turning in on the Google Drive. The last thing you put is the name of the assignment. Notice that there are dashes between each of those items to make them stand out. So there's an example for you. By the way, you don't need to color code it. I only color coded it so you could see each of the 4 required elements. When we name a folder, it's going to be in a similar format as well. So I've moved us over to a sample student's Google Drive, and this sample student is named Joe Schmo. He's completely imaginary, but he works well for example purposes. Now, Joe doesn't have any folders or documents in this drive at this point. So the first thing we want to do is get organized. So Joe is going to go to Create, Folder, and he's going to create a Language Arts Period 7 folder. And then he's going to do this for all of his classes. What do right now is go ahead and create folders for each of your classes and put in the name of the class and then the period that you have the class. Go ahead and pause the video while you make that. Now what we want to do is Joe needs 2 folders in each of his subject area folders. So if we click on ELA, you'll notice he doesn't have anything in there. But his language arts teacher, me, there I am, I shared a folder with him actually. So he's going to click on the box and then go to Move, and he's going to move that folder into his language arts folder. Now, notice it stays in the Shared with Me folder, but it's also moved into the Language Arts folder. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause the video while you move any shared folders into the correct subject area folder. Okay, so notice that the teacher has I have already shared 2 documents with Joe. We're going to come back to that in a moment. But right now, we need a second folder for each of Joe's classes. Joe needs to make his turn-in folder, because the handout folder is the one that the teacher shares with everyone in the class, and any forms or worksheets or anything like that get thrown in the handout folder, and everybody has access to them. In order for Joe to turn in his assignments, he needs to make his turn-in folder. So while being in the subject area folder, English Language Arts, he's going to create a new folder. And this one is going to be named with the subject area, the period that he's in, and then his name. And actually, now if you keep having a hard time finding that dash, it is at the top right side of your keyboard, and it is near your backspace key, about 2 over from backspace. So he's put his subject, the period, his name, and then he's going to call this, now he needs to name it. Okay. All right, so what I want you to do now is I want you to make your turn-in folder for each of your classes. Go ahead and pause the video while you do that. Now, Joe needs to share this with his teacher so that she can grade the assignments, because it's great that he's got a turn-in folder, but if his teacher can't see it, that does no one any good. All right, so let's go, let's go back to here. Now this folder the teacher has shared with him. Now Joe is going to share his folder back to the teacher. So we're going to go there. Oops, I'm in the wrong thing. We're going to go to, up here, we're going to go to More, and we're going to go to Share, and Share. Now we want to invite people. So he puts in his teacher's name, and a lot of times it'll automatically start popping up, which is really awesome. If not, your teacher will have written their email for you, the one they want you to share it to on the board or give it to you as a handout of some sort, and so you want to put that in correctly. Now, do not send a notify people email. What that does is it floods your teacher's email with notices that all their students have created folders to share with them. They know their students created folders, they saw it. But you just flood their inbox, so don't do that. Their drive will get flooded with all these folders, and then they can organize them. So unclick the notify people via email. Okay. You have an option over here of can edit or can view. You want to set it to can edit, so make sure it's on can edit. So teacher's email, can edit, and no notify people via email. Once you hit yes, Google gets all freaked out. Are you sure you don't want to send an email? And you just click OK, I'm fine with that. And then it asks if you want to share with anyone else. And the only time you would share with anyone else besides your teacher is if you're doing a group project and you're the document creator. But at this point, we are done. What I'd like you to do now is go ahead and share each of your folders with each of your teachers.